Yeah, whoa, okay, sorry for the interruption. Basically, this cunt was just going on about how tobacco smoking causes third world poverty, and just explained that he did a bunch of research and he has all these links, and he's fucking blubbery and all this shit. Um, so who's defending cigarette smoking? Who's defending tobacco exporting to the third world? If anything, you should blame neoliberalism for that, which I'm not standing behind. I'm also arguing about fairness. I'm not arguing about fairness in the tax system. I'm not arguing about and also about minority rights. And you're throwing in this whole thing about third world poverty just out of your fucking ass. So yeah, to blame neoliberalism. Don't blame me. I don't smoke. I vaporize. Gary doesn't smoke. He vaporizes. Nobody's advocating for cigarette smoking. In fact, Gary wants to see all that done away with, and there are policies. He's mentioned policies that would be effective. For example, taking all the cigarette smokers, making them register. They can buy cigarettes. Nobody else can buy cigarettes, and that's the end of that chapter. All right, if you want to go for that, that's all good, because nobody's defending cigarette smoking.
More rampant. In other words, we've exported our poverty onto other people. And this
blame neoliberalism, not me. And also, the poverty is also borne on the people who smoke cigarettes. Again, $3,000 a year in taxes. And yeah, not to mention the actual, even the cost of like the cigarettes themselves, and just sustaining the addiction. It's also, just like the lottery. It's a bunch of bullshit.
is being fed by people's desire to smoke.
So, number one, we're not defending the status quo. At least I'm not. Gary's not. And second of all, cigarette smokers are also impoverished.
Something they don't need to survive, and something that they don't need to.
And it's not a desire, it's a fucking addiction. Those people who don't really smoke cigarettes, they won't get a fucking a registration card. So that's just bullshit.
Live, unlike you, none of the rest of us need this to survive, apparently. And
well, not true. And just go ahead and belittle the addiction to nicotine. Okay, so you don't have firsthand experience, I'm guessing. So if you did, you wouldn't be spewing the shit that you are. You'd realize it's quite difficult to quit nicotine, because it's one of the most addictive substances known to man, as I've already mentioned in the previous video.
The fact that they're not producing food at the same rate now in these areas leaves them open to, and the exposure of being subject to starvation, given the possible repercussions of a famine, and it's not helping to get them out of poverty, because now
nobody's advocating moving plantations to third world countries as a means of alleviating poverty. You're the only one who brought that stupid issue up, you motherfucking megalomaniacal retard.
The tobacco companies can take advantage of these dirt poor conditions with no regulation in these countries like.
Am I defending tobacco companies? No, I'm just defending proportionality and equity.
Uganda and Kenya and other places, simply so that you can feed your habit.
Have you even been to Africa? I mean, who the fuck are you?
Now, for somebody who sits around and complains about the fact that a DNA molecule is the thing that keeps us enslaved to everything,
which it is,
you're a slave to this nicotine thing.
And he's already admitted that, and so have I, and it's not something we're proud of or defending. It's just something that we did as retarded children, and now I can't fucking stop, so F you.
And it is not, as far as I can see, a right to be able to smoke. In other words, you do not have a right to smoke. We could take that away from you if we so deemed. if we decided that the benefits outweighed any of the costs.
Okay, so what are some of the negatives? Okay, so this third world exploitation, we're not going to allow people to smoke cigarettes anymore. So we might as well give up all our modern conveniences, because those were also acquired through exploitation. Don't you realize that you're fucking trapped in this stupid ass corporate multinational fucking goddamn game? I mean, you're so caught up in it, you don't even realize it. And that's why you're making the statements that you are, because you're so fucking deluded. And that's all there is to say. And so the way you go about life is lying about your profession on the internet for popularity reasons. And that's how you get your jollies. And so whatever. That's all I need to say. That's all I need to point out to hopefully get across to people that you're scum, you're filthy, disgusting, vile, nihilist garbage, and you should get exactly what you advocate.
Lost. As much as you complain about people being addicted to things, you are the biggest addict of all. And
nobody's complaining about being addicted to things. It was a circumstance. It was a dumb thing to do. Obviously, he admits that. I admit that. So what's new here? What's new? Are you just? It seems like what you're doing now is mocking someone for his addiction, and that is really, really dirty. It's really ugly. It's really scummy. Who does that? You mock a heroin addict? Because that's what you are. I mean, we might as well. Yeah, I mean, fuck that. You're no better than one. So, if anything, you're just mocking yourself. You like lame excuse for a human being.
And it shows in your personality. Your personality
Projection.
is of an addictive person.
What does that make you? You seem to be obsessed with distorting somebody. You're willing to even go to the great length of distorting somebody's image on the fucking internet. What does that make you? Projection much?
There's nothing but extremes within your life, Gary. You don't know what moderation is.
You don't know that, fool.
And instead of doing something...
What is moderation in your opinion anyway? And why should I care about what your opinion of moderation is? You're already someone who has zero credibility on the fucking internet. You're just a lame shit talker.
Smart and stopping smoking. Ceasing your nasty habit, which only contributes to the fact that one of these days we're going to have to...
He doesn't smoke cigarettes anymore. He's already said that, but you didn't watch the video. So, wow, joke's on you for saying he's not going to watch the video, yet you don't even watch any of his videos, so why are you even making a fucking video yourself about it? Oh, wait, you're not. You're just trying to, I don't know, play some sort of game, as usual. Weasel. Weasel, weasel, weasel. You fucking weasel.
To stick machines in your stupid ass to keep you alive.
Again, if you look at the research, people fucking keel over from lung cancer. Alright? A lot of times, if you've been a smoker, they can tell you have diseased lungs. They won't provide you with, like, that sort of treatment. And that's all there is to say most of the time. So where is the cost to society? If anything, the cost to society is not smoking, living to a really old age, pooping your pants for 10 years, having the fucking state take care of your fucking failing mental capacity, and then you finally one day your body just says enough, and it just keels over from all the whatever it is. Environmental pollutants are a huge factor. Again, adult average lifespan has decreased the last 7 years over the last couple of decades, mostly as a result of food and toxics, which you defend, and you have no way of protecting against in your nihilist fucking world, your nihilist universe. So I hope you do go. Why don't you go move to some sort of like libertarian fucknut state and get exactly what you deserve? I hope a fucking somebody drills an oil well next to your property and all of your land is contaminated.
Well, I wouldn't, but that's just me. Or we're going to have to bear the healthcare costs associated with your dumb ass doing something this stupid.
I already talked about this.
You fucking child. You just decide to go on your merry way and pretend like what you're doing isn't harming anybody.
Smoking a cigarette inside your house isn't. How is that harming anyone? Besides yourself. Oh yeah, it's not. And didn't people 100 years ago have wood burning stoves and oil lamps, gas lamps, all of that bullshit was, and you're gonna just disregard that and say that people lived just as long then. So you're gonna say that somehow what's changed that's made secondhand smoke just so deadly that it will not only will it even if you smoke a cigarette inside of your house, the smoke is so deadly it's going to affect your neighbors no matter how far away they live. That seems pretty preposterous to me. BlubberLips.
So, meat is bad. Children are bad. Paying for children are bad. But smoking good.
No, smoking bad. So, again, straw man, bloop, 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 bloop. Straw man, straw man, straw man, straw man. Ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong. Alert, alert. Hannibal Barca just proved that he has even less credibility than, zero. This is truly record-breaking, folks.
Exporting this to other countries to help destroy their lives, good. Completely necessary.
Oh, no, because cigarette bad. Cigarette bad. Cigarette bad.
Out the suffering.
Meat also bad. But you shouldn't be disproportionately taxing people. Oh, yeah, but that's a more nuanced of a fucking argument than your stupid brain can handle. So we'll just move on.
Gary, what about the children here in this country? All the agricultural land turned over to tobacco production could be used for food production that could...
The problem is not about food availability. The problem is about food access, you retard. So again, you're just gonna postulate for fucking about stuff you don't know. There's more than enough food to feed every single fucking person. It's because the wealth is so fucked up that fucknuts like you don't even realize it. The wealth is so fucked up that you have the haves and the have-nots, and you get the food hoarding, you get the food wasting. More than 50% in developed countries, while people in Africa have nothing, and I've seen this firsthand. And frankly, it's not something that you should misuse for the purpose of an argument, which is what I feel that you're doing. It's really lame. It's really lame to take the suffering of others and dish it out against someone in the dishonest manner that you're doing. This is a politician's trick.
Bring down the price of some of that better food for us, which would allow poor people to afford it and therefore have a healthier diet.
Oh, is that right? Is that right? Oh, really? So there's nothing like called global food prices, right? And that building, converting tobacco farmland, what little of it already is in U.S., and converting that to something else. No matter what the economics of that are, again, agricultural crops probably less profitable than tobacco, right? And so, let's say we hypothetically magically do that, is that going to really affect the world food price in such a huge manner that people, even in the United States, will feel the price effect? I doubt it. You've seen the price of corn roughly triple, like in the past year or so, and that speaks volumes about, again, is it even practical to start this shit? We're having the extreme weather to begin with, and I don't want to get into it too much, but you're basically, okay, you're advocating getting rid of tobacco plantations. I'm not gonna fucking go against that because I'm not a fan of smoking. But if people want to, if people register themselves as cigarette smokers, then they should be, and that they can't quit smoking, and that they've tried the stuff, the vaporizer, all that shit. They shouldn't, they shouldn't have them. They shouldn't. Then they shouldn't be restricted, but future generations should. And find one fucking problem with that. I dare you.
But no, we have to feed your addiction. You stupid little man. You miserable, ignorant, foolhardy...
What about your addiction? So why don't we spout off about your shit? And besides I've already proven that his addiction's not harmful. My addiction's not harmful to nicotine. Your addiction to meat is harmful to animals and to humans. And if anything, the climate change effects of what you do are far worse. So how about we go ahead and turn that around on your flabby ass? Flabby.
Moronic, dumb, stupid, pompous, jackass, moron, dickhead, fuckface, dickhead, asshole. I like dickhead, so I used it twice.
Yeah, because you're not even good at this shit.
You are too stupid to understand anything concerning nuance, and you sure as hell don't...
Wow, that's really funny considering he ignored the entire nuance, if you can even call it that, of the argument about proportionality of taxes. Somehow that seems to have gone right over his head and he's complaining about nuance. Isn't that funny? Actually, it's more sad. But anyway.
Give a damn about suffering. This is just the ultimate example of it. You and your ethalists don't give a shit about anybody but you.
Wrong. Projecting. Again, you belittle suffering. I acknowledge it as real. I don't want it to be enacted on future generations. You want to stick your fucking nose, where it doesn't belong and impose on me. Impose on me. You're one imposing on me, and then you're complaining that I'm a little bit ticked about that. Yes, I'm more than a bit ticked. Very ticked. At the imposition. Not your imposition, but just in general. Of these fucking these child petters. The child petters, yeah.
You sad, demented little Tolkien character.
Oh, that's good.
This has never been about anything but you. And your...
No, you've chosen to make it about him. Because your argument is defeated. You only spent, 1 minute talking about this stupid third world tax and thing that doesn't even apply because you didn't even watch the video. You spent about a minute of this video, or 2 minutes, being pretty gracious, giving you the benefit of the doubt, at least, talking about this third world tobacco shit, and I'm saying that wasn't even relevant. Nobody's advocating continuing smoking. I'm agreeing with Gary about the whole registration of the truly addicted and providing them with cigarettes and having that be the last generation. I think that's pretty damn pragmatic, and I think everyone can get behind that. So if you just shut your flabby ass, stop making it about Gary, as you fucking are saying in the video, you're admitting it. So you are a troll. You're admitting you're a troll. You're admitting you're a troll. Because you think it's about Gary, but it's really not. It's not about Gary. He's just a guy on the internet making videos and making arguments. But you can't respond to his argument. So you slander him with images and you try to malign his character and invent things about him. Because you're a pedophile.
Cadre of miscreants. What they want. What you want.
Yeah, what I want is a little bit of fairness. What I want is justice. What I want is to end the imposition. And I'm sorry, is that such a fucking huge demand of me to actually, have people justify why, at least have parents write a paragraph down about why they chose to have kids at the very, very least. And then this guy gets butthurt because he already pumped out some stupid shitty kids, and he can't even justify why he did that. Wah wah.
That's all that matters to you, Gary. You are a selfish, overgrown child. A child who should have been bent over a birch tree and spanked a long time ago.
Projection.
Callens will take care of that. He's into that kind of thing.
Shut up.
But regardless of that, I want you to do us all a favor. Stop pretending you have any consideration for anyone or anything other than you.
Projection. You're the nihilist, so that's you. That's you. That's you.
Because nobody's buying it anymore, Gary. You are nothing more than a spoiled, rotten little baby living on the edge of the Pine Barrens in New Jersey, lamenting his own state, despite the fact that his own state is entirely his own doing.
How is that? Really? Let's go back to the root cause of it. Did he ask to be plopped out into this horrible, filthy, stinking world? I don't think so. And it's not like you can undo it very easily. So I'm in the same camp. I'm also lamenting being here because I feel uncomfortable and I feel deprived and I don't like it and I wish it would go away. But there's not really an easy way for me to do that except fucking kill myself, and I've already explained why I'm not going to do that. It'd be illogical for me at this point, but I'm not even going to get into that. But again, ignore all of the videos that talk about this and just go on with this putrid, disgusting, I don't even know what this is, quasi-argument.
And blaming everyone else for all the problems that take place as opposed to where the blame really lies.
Where does the blame really lie? Why does it lie on Gary? For making a stupid mistake over 40 years ago and now being hopelessly addicted to a certain substance called nicotine, which is one of the most dangerous, not dangerous, sorry, but addictive substances known to man. Oh yeah, well, yeah, go ahead and punish him, and punish me too, I guess. But what are you trying to prove? Alright, we made a mistake already, admitted it, made a mistake, smoking cigarettes, wish we didn't smoke cigarettes. I'm getting along alright with the nicotine vapor thing, but I need to hit it quite a bit from time to time. It's not like I could just one day go without this thing, but it is a lot cheaper and it's not cigarettes, so I get, oh look, I'm not supporting third world, economic genocide in that particular regard, I guess. Again, like, such a stupid point. Like, okay, why don't you stop eating meat then? You wanna know how to end exploitation? Why don't you start by not eating meat and not buying all the stupid shit that you buy? Why don't you do that before you start handing out advice to people who probably have much lower carbon footprint, eat lower on the food chain than you dumb piece of motherfucking worthless trash?
That is with you, you stupid jackass. You fucking moron. And this just shows exactly cigarettes. What could have been done that would have been better? Let's see. What could have been? I don't know. Maybe trying to find a way to use those taxes from those cigarettes to subsidize something worthwhile.
So you can, so it doesn't matter. We can discriminate all we want against these things that we don't like cigarettes, which are a minority vice. We can exploit the hell out of cigarette smokers because they go to really special stuff and it'll be so worthwhile and all this bullshit crap. Well, it's still an invasion of fucking liberties, douchebag. An unwarranted, selfish, weaselly thing to do to exploit people who don't really have any really recourse fighting back and just tax the shit out of them 800%, and that's just wrong.
Time not have been better spent for American jurisprudence. Not having a judge having to tell you why you're such a stupid idiot, which
is not what happened.
be self-evident at this point.
Well, is it really? Did you watch the video? Do you want to quote a passage from what the judge said, because it was recorded and uploaded to YouTube? But wait, you can't find. You're too inept to find it, probably. And not only that, there was no such statement or excoriation given by the judge. If anything, Gary made the judge look like an idiot on the fucking audio slash video of the conference call. So the joke's on you, retard.
Should there not have been something more worthwhile on the docket that day?
Oh, something more worthwhile than fucking constitutional rights? Maybe, but it's pretty fucking important to begin with. So don't belittle this shit. Alright, why don't you go file a pro bono lawsuit and see how that works out on something principled. See how that works out for you, jackass.
Other than having to listen to your idiotic ideas about what justice are, and that how put upon you
If you don't like it, then don't watch it.
are just because you're a smoker. You are a moron, Gary. You've always been a moron. You have never known jack shit. And unlike your acolytes and the miscreants who pay attention to you, who aren't just there to laugh at you, you don't fool me.
Okay, but it's not a question of he's not trying to fool anyone, jackass. He's making an argument on the fucking internet, and you want to go ahead and lump together all these people, Gary's fan club or something like that. Well, what is this hate club shit? And you're trying to be part of the hate club. You're not even a member of the hate club, are you? I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if you were, given the average IQ of the people who do participate in it, but you're using the image that the hate club, it's a hate club official image now, used by a bunch of other retards on the internet now. So that does make you. So who do you roll with, asshole? All of the people who you hang out with on the internet are a bunch. Are they have no integrity, just like yourself.
When it comes to your lack of intellect, you've never fooled me. You are clown shoes. You have always been clown shoes, and you will continue to be clown shoes.
You lost the argument about the bonobos, jackass. You lost, alright? It took 5 minutes of Google searching to prove you fucking wrong. And that's all there is to say about it.
Has wasted the time of the court. You have wasted the time of cardinal virtues. You have wasted...
I don't think so. I think he's done it. He's manipulated his audience. And this is somehow the content that he's fond of delivering to his subscribers. And they're eating this shit up. So it's carefully orchestrated, jackass. And it's also planned through the hate club meetings. Don't act like you don't understand that. So you're the one participating in this whole complex, if anything. And who are you? So who are you to be talking about cults or whatever it is? I mean, you're in one, jackass.
My time in forcing me to respond like this. You have wasted Lasoya's time.
You didn't have to do it. And who the fuck is Lasoya? I don't give a shit about that man/woman, or her time, or his time. And so what's the point of you even saying this? You didn't have to make a video, cunt. But now since you went out and flapped your fucking ass up, and basically did the audio equivalent of mooning everyone on the YouTube, I feel somewhat obliged to respond, especially given the the image that you're using. It just begs for a response, and you're not even making a sophisticated response again.
Time. You have wasted Baroness's time. You have wasted all of our time, and you continue to.
You didn't have to make the video. I'll say that again, and that's all I'm going to say. And I'm
waste our time. Why on earth should we waste? We would no longer have to suffer your hypocrisy. Constitution good, according to Gary and what the Constitution says. Constitution according to cardinal virtues bad. Judge rules against moron in case.
No, judge throws out case on a stupid abuse of the legal system, and there's no legal recourse. and there's no attempt to, there's no a redress of grievances given, as is a constitutionally protected, guaranteed right, and you're okay with that. You're gonna mock that, say, hey, well, I hope somebody really screws you over legally, and I hope you have zero legal recourse. I hope you're broke as fuck. You can't afford a lawyer. You have to sue this person pro bono, or else you'll be thrown out of your house, and you lose the case on a motherfucking one of these stupid technicalities, right? I hope that same shit happens to you, Tubby.
Gary mad at Judge because Judge did not rule in his favor.
Fuck you.
When history finally stooped low enough to see you, Gary, we're playing about the taxes on cigarettes. Way to fucking go, Gary.
Of which you have made a piss poor attempt to respond to, and that's not even the main argument. The argument was about motherfucking kid taxes. If you go back to the fucking video, vegetarianism and ethics. That was the video that sparked this whole controversy. We talked about, that if you are actually up to date about the subject, you know that about the comparison made, education, health care of children, income tax, Sharia law. All right, we already got that shit. All right, so we're paying for your fucking kids, even though I don't support reproduction, procreation, and you're saying that that's okay. That's something I have to do because because why? The majority of people in the world are assholes, and they just don't want to intervene on behalf or something. Well, then you're saying that that's a legitimate reason for why I should be forced to pay, for children's health care, even though I don't support it.
Never mind that the addiction that you have helps contribute to the misery of millions in other countries.
Already debunked, shitface.
And in this country, and lack of food, lack of opportunities. Well, here's the problem with that, Gary. We've talked before, myself and others, cardinal virtues, myself, others have talked about the rule of the lion and the lamb. I can't tell you all how stupid it sounds when I hear something like animals have rights.
Well, you're just a fucking douchebag then. And I hope you experience the same degree of suffering that an animal being sorted through being processed through a slaughterhouse experiences. You should have to, why don't you should be forced to lactate for your entire working life, and kept in a tiny gestation crate, and then when you're at the end, they should just throw you and stick you on a meat hook, right? I think that's exactly what should happen, because if you think animals shouldn't be treated the same, you think that animals should be treated somehow worse than people, then yeah, you should be treated like an animal, because, well, if anything, your behavior shows you to be non-human. You nihilist cunt.
Animals don't recognize rights.
That's irrelevant. That doesn't mean you should not treat them as dignified sentient creatures. I mean, if the fucking a log fell on the leg of a cat, is it not suffering? Is that not an objectively bad thing to have happened? Because suffering is objectively bad? Oh wait, you would say suffering is not bad because you're a douchebag, and then I just can say, well, you're too fucking stupid, and you should experience all of the suffering that you enact. That's all I got to say. I hope you experience all of the suffering that you belittle, and then we'll see who's doing the bitching. So we'll just finish this up.
A cougar doesn't recognize, cross-examine the dog who bites
Shut up. That's too damn stupid. Obviously, dogs don't have are not language capable. Does that mean that we should treat them like shit? No, it does not. Because, wow, dogs are capable of suffering too. And you shouldn't enact suffering on beings for no goddamn reason. And you shouldn't you shouldn't procreate so that the being has a potential to experience suffering. How hard is that? How hard is that?
Me. I have that right. The dog has the right to confront me in court. Who's going to...
Well, you should, if you beat the dog, then you should be taken to court as an animal abuser. You should be locked up and sentenced to a prison term. Yes, you should. And if I caught you doing that on a in an alleyway somewhere, you wouldn't be feeling very good after that. Trust me.
Represent the dog. These are all legitimate questions that would have to be asked for something like this. Nature does not recognize any kind of...
So we should all get down on our knees and give a blowjob to nature, because why? No, we shouldn't. But it's out of my control that nature is reproducing animals. I'm not advocating that, but I don't think they should be treated like shit. I don't think they should be used in industrial capacity, basically as milk and produce dairy machines. I don't agree with that. I don't think they should be used as a means for anything. I don't think any sentient life should be used as a means. Okay? And you do, because you're a nihilist jackass who doesn't understand suffering and refuses to acknowledge it, and that's just... You're just too stupid. I'm losing my patience.
It recognizes only what it can take and what it can't take, by violence or by other means.
Which is you. That's what you're advocating, so I hope you get exactly that.
Animals do not have this concept. They live according to their nature.
Okay, that's a good fact to point out, I guess. But they still experience suffering, don't they? Oh wait, yes they do. They still experience suffering. Last time I checked.
In other words, according to their biological function. They don't get happy, so to speak.
They're slaves to the DNA molecule just like ourselves, okay? Only they don't realize it. But then again, neither do most humans. So what really separates them, us and them? I guess the concept that knowing that they're going to die. I guess humans know they're going to die at some point. I don't know, maybe elephants do too. Have you ever seen an elephant look at bones?
They don't get sad about the fact that their rights are being violated. Nothing like that comes into the fore.
Well, actually, as I was saying about the elephants, they do get sad when they look upon a dead elephant. And that... so there's, I don't know if that's a counter example, but it certainly is pretty telling.
So your faux concern for animals based on people eating meat is noted and rejected, because it actually has nothing to do with anything in reality.
It does, but you don't think so, because you don't acknowledge the suffering. So whatever, it's pointless to continue with this. I think everyone can see that you're wrong, and you're a jackass at this point.
There's a reason that we look at something like that differently than we look at the kinds of things going on.
No, you do, because you're a fucking psycho bastard, tubby piece of shit. Justify, rationalize anything, any of your behaviors, because you're without sin, right?
Between human beings, because human beings have the capacity to understand that killing someone for no reason, especially when it comes to humans, is something we frown upon for many.
Animals don't just do that either. Do you see animals like, killering each other, just willy-nilly? No. If they do it, it's, for some hardwired mating competition reason, which I'm not defending. But I'm saying most of the time, actually, they're probably looking for their own food, and they're not trying to screw over other animals. And sometimes animals are carnivores. They have to eat other things in order to survive, or else they won't survive. Well, this is just too stupid.
Many reasons, least of all which is because we could all see ourselves being that random person being killed. That's among the things that needs to be discussed here. But more
Another selfish framing. I don't kill because I wouldn't want to be killed. No, I don't kill because I believe killing is just wrong in general, and except in very special exceptions.
importantly, we recognize that we have the capacity to intellectualize to that level. And in doing so, we are set apart from that natural world in at least one respect.
But we still experience suffering, douchebag. Do we not? I mean, do animals still do, right? So it's still wrong.
We're still subject to it, but we are also apart from it in other respects. And anybody who wants to be a vegetarian or a vegan, that's fine. But it's not doing anything contributing of any use to me, as far as
well, fuck you. So go ahead and ignore the climate change aspect of it once more. I've already talked about this, so I'm not going to keep going.
Sir, because it's not stopping any kind of real harm.
Only sentient life, and but you don't care about that. We already know that because you're a jackass.
You choose to, instead of doing something worthwhile, do something so petty and stupid and ridiculous and foolhardy.
Oh, like what you're doing? Making a shitty video on the internet?
King Amendum cares for anyone or anything but himself.
No. Well, that's the end of the video. Okay. That was really, really, really bad. Exhausting. Absolutely mind-numbing, the stupidity here. I mean, I might as well just watch commercials, right? If I wanted to rot my brain, I should have just watched commercials. Fuck.